Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this show is sponsored by BetterHelp. When life goes too fast, it's important to take a moment and celebrate your wins and make adjustments for the rest of the year. Therapy can help you take stock of your progress and set achievable goals in the next 6 months. Take a moment. Visit betterhelp.com/IDK today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp, HELP.com/IDK. Paper. Glass, concrete. What would win in a fight? You might find out that I don't know about paper, concrete, glass.
So it's like paper, rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, rock,
glass.
paper, glass. So what beats?
Well, rock, paper.
Okay, because the glass will cut through the paper.
Yeah.
Paper.
Concrete.
Concrete can't break paper.
Well, but you can't cover concrete unless it's a small piece of concrete.
And concrete beats grass.
No, but paper doesn't beat concrete. Normally, paper covers rock, but the concrete, is it attached to a building or is it just...
Yeah, but you could dump a bit of paper on the ground. You could dump a slab of concrete. The paper will still be underneath.
Oh, so you're saying concrete beats paper?
No, paper beats concrete because it can't defeat it.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like I guess sand. You can smooth out concrete with paper.
Yeah, sandpaper can fuck up concrete.
They already had rock, paper, scissors though. It was perfect.
All right, so we're just replacing the scissors with glass. That's the only difference.
No, it's not rock. It's concrete.
Yeah.
And glass is no scissors.
That's what I'm saying. The scissors are now glass, and rock becomes concrete.
If you want to be pedantic about it, the scissors
this whole conversation's
that's coming up in an episode soon. We got an expert.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Glass, scissors, concrete.
We're looking for an expert. That's
scissoring concrete.
Yeah. An expert and you got to be an expert in concrete, glass,
and paper
together. So don't even at me if you're not an expert in those three.
Don't bother us.
I love me some paper.
We have a live podcast.
Hate paper.
June 25th at Flappers at 8 p.m. June 25th at Flappers. That's next week. We've had fun doing the live podcast. If you're in the LA area, come out to Burbank to Flappers on June 25th at 8 p.m.
Flappers.
And Jim, you have a bunch of shows.
I'm all over Australia right now. If you're in Australia, just go to jimjefferies.com. There was some shows added to certain dates and some. So all over August, I'm all over Australia.
On jimjefferies.com.
Coming back, I had Dan Soder and Mark Norman. When are those dates?
September 13th in St. Louis.
A triple headliner.
September 14th in Atlanta.
Yeah, only 2 shows, but a triple headliner show. All of us are going to be doing time. You're going to get your money's worth there. 3 for a price of 1. I'll tell you where you can get 2 for the price of 1.
Yep.
Up in Canada, me and Jimmy Carr selling gangbusters. We're doing it in the round. The
Charm Offensive tour.
The Charm Offensive. We're going to do it in the round, and we're going to do little things in that show. I'm going to do a set. He's going to do a set. We don't know what to order. We might flip-flop it. At the end, we might do a Q&A. You'll be able to text in your questions. Fun things afoot.
All throughout Canada, you're going to be doing that in September and October, different locations. And then you also, after you're done doing the shows with Mark Norman and Dan Soder in St. Louis and Atlanta, you'll be back on your other tour, give them what they want in America, Detroit, Milwaukee, Kalamazoo, Minneapolis, Tucson.
Now, the added advantage of that show is I do about an hour and a half, where the other shows will be doing 40 minutes with the thing and then an hour with Jimmy. So, you still get your money's worth no matter where you go. You're going to get, if you're like me. Otherwise, if you don't like me and you like the 2 other comics or the 1 other comic, it's not going to be great value for you.
Don't sell it like that.
Why are you listening to this podcast? You hate me so much. Stop listening. You're putting yourself through hell.
They're here for Forrest.
Tomorrow, I'm at the Hollywood Improv for the Shawsome Show. It's the first Shawsome Show.
Yay!
It's the first one. It's going to be fun. Jack's going to be there with the Doohickeys.
Woo!
Lots of other good comedians. It's going to be really fun. Come out for that. And then I'm also going to be at the Punchline in San Francisco, July 30th, the Punchline in Sacramento, July 31st, the Comedy Nest in Montreal, August 22nd through the 24th. I'm in Key West, Miami, Boca Raton, Tampa. It's all on my website at forrestshaw.net. I've got tons of shows
you road
the end of the year. And then I'll be meeting up with Jimmy, meeting back up with you in Tucson and Phoenix for your shows and stuff later
Tucson,
on, so.
Phoenix, yeah.
Forrestshaw.net, it's all there. And then go to IDCat Podcast to follow us on Instagram.
And always December 14th, come and see me in LA. I always love those shows in LA because I'm always in a good mood because I get to sleep in my own bed.
Yeah, one time you slept on a bus.
Yeah, true that. I was in a terrible mood that day. No, but I always like those shows because all my friends come out and stuff like that. You get to hang out with a few people.
Yeah, those are fun, and the venue's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And go pre-save the Doohickeys' next single, Rain It In Cowboy, comes out Friday, June 28th. I'll put a pre-save link in the description. If you can pre-save it, helps us out.
And again, if you're a glass or concrete and paper expert,
Please,
we need you.
And also, if
message
there's an expert on the North Sydney Bears,
You want to do that? We're still trying to do Australia.
Yeah, if you're an Australian expert, hit us up.
You listen right here. If you're Australian and you think the Bears are dead, you're fucking wrong. Bringing the Bears back, baby. It's coming.
Is that?
There's phone calls, there's conversations are happening. I just got a text today. Things are happening. Bringing back the Bears.
Did you get a text about the Bears, or was it just a text about something else?
I'm on a group. I'm in a group chat
Yeah.
with like my childhood heroes. It's like my favorite thing in the world.
Hulk Hogan.
No, all the North Sydney Bears players from the early '90s are trying to help get the Bears back. Right? They were the last great players of this team, and so like literally my childhood heroes. I'm in a text chain with. It's kind of exciting.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. Looking at you, Billy Moore. Billy Moore might do the podcast. He'd be well up for it. He's all right.
What would he be an expert in?
The North Sydney Bears. He knows fucking everything.
It's very specific, that one. I feel we already did rugby. Didn't we do rugby league? Or no, we just did rugby.
We just did rugby, not the league. We're trying to get. I have a text from my niece, so I'm trying to get my dad as a member of the podcast to come on. And I thought, what can he talk about? Carpentry, maybe, right? I know fuck all about carpentry.
Oh, because your niece is going to have to help with all the technology.
We need
stuff.
someone to go out to the 83-year-old's house and put the computer in front of him and turn it on at the right time and all that type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But my niece is moving away in August, so it means that she can't do it. And my brother's not up for it because I think my dad does his head in, right?
Why can't you do it when you're there? Maybe you could sit
But
next to him.
then, so you two would be...
We'll zoom in.
Yeah, that's true. You two could zoom in. Yeah, that's...
You're going to have an apparatus there, like an iPad at the very least.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't have an iPad?
I don't know. But I said...
Or a computer.
I said,
Yeah.
I assume you mean... yes, I have Zoom. My niece
The fans want this.
My niece goes, I have Zoom on my laptop, so I could give it to him and set it up. And then I went, oh, you'll already be away.
Yeah, no,
And
you
then-
can't just...
And then she wrote back, haha, lucky me.
Well, no, but they can do it right now. We could do it before you leave.
Yeah, you know how much... This is going to take a lot of production. To get that man to... Okay, so right now we're recording it like... It's always 10 to 4.
Yeah.
This is the perfect time. It's like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
in Sydney.
Yeah.
This is prime Gary
I feel like
Nugent.
it's a good time for him to record when we record normally.
This is prime Gary Nugent right now.
Yeah.
But I need to get people to... And what...
You know what else
Because I know what will happen is... And do I have to... He'll yell at it.
Yeah.
Right? Well, I'll tell you what else you can do. Like that. No, Dad, you can just speak normally. Oh, you can hear me, can you?
And normally I give the questions ahead of time.
No, there's none of that.
Okay. We're just going to wing it.
You just get some carpentry questions.
Yeah.
Make sure you put in a dovetailed joint. That's his favourite thing in the world.
Send your manager over.
As long as you have a dovetailed joint. I can send Andrew over.
What's Andrew doing?
Fucking make that lazy cunt do it. Yeah,
People
fucking.
want... Right now, you've talked about it too much to not do it.
No,
I
no.
want this. No,
People want it.
I'm going. Oh,
Whoa.
oh,
Whoa.
Whoa, hey.
Those are
Hey.
headphones.
bloody hell, older Carolyn.
Anyways, we need Gary.
Yeah, we'll have him on, and we'll do carpentry, and
Yeah.
he'll be like, just how long's an apprenticeship?
Yeah, no, I got it.
What is carpentry?
Yeah.
Can we also do an episode with him on how to talk to women?
Oh, that could be a sub episode. Look, let's be honest. We're not getting him on the show to talk about carpentry. This is just going to be a bullshit way to get him on the podcast, and then we're going to make him say lewd things about women.
All right, man.
It's just fun, just entertaining.
People want it. All right.
Give them what they want.
Please welcome our guest, Andy Richter.
G'day, Andy. Now
Hello.
it's time to play.
Yes, though. Yes, though. Yes, though. Yes, though. Judging a book by its cover.
Well, here's the thing. We all know who Andy Richter is. Anyone who watches television over the last 20 years knows who the fuck Andy Richter is. I've been on Conan with you maybe 6-7 times.
Something like that.
Sat
Yeah,
next to you.
it's been a number of times.
I was on Conan. You don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Were you?
He did
stand up.
stand up.
Oh,
there.
okay. Yeah. No, I usually checked out during those.
I
Lights go down over on that half of the stage, and I'm like,
I once told a story. I think it was the one where I couldn't come on one episode because I had an infected testicle.
Yeah.
Right? Literally, like one of my testicles swelled up like a grapefruit and I couldn't come on that episode. I couldn't sit or anything. It was nothing to do with sex. It was just, it was what it was. And then I come back on the episode and I told the story, and the story didn't really go very well. The audience was just sitting there like, what the fuck? Like they thought it was a bit where I was actually trying to tell the truth, you know,
Right.
they thought it was a bit. And they cut to an ad and I'm already panicking. And you look over at me and you said, Jim, and I thought you were going to give me some comforting words, right, or something like that. You had something under your fingernail. You go, what do you think that is?
was that on camera?
That was in the ad break. You know what? It did calm me down because I went, he doesn't care about my testicle. He's completely fine. He wasn't offended in the slightest. Okay, so are we going to talk about the late night shows, or is it some other topic completely?
Am I supposed to?
Yes or no?
asking you.
No,
Yes,
it's
yes.
not. It's not. I thought it was supposed to be some sort of like just random knowledge thing that I happen to know about.
It is. Yeah.
Oh, it can be random knowledge.
It's just like a thing that I happen to know a lot of stuff
okay,
about.
so
This
it's
is for
not-
no reason other than just...
I will never guess this.
Like,
then.
if-
There's no way I can guess it.
Yeah, we
will be able
have
to.
professors. Just usually he's looking in the background of people's books and things and trying to guess what they're here to talk about.
Yeah.
He never knows what the subject.
Right,
is.
right.
So.
Very rarely I guess it. And it's not even because some guy's wearing a dinosaur T-shirt, and I'm like,
This is-
dinosaurs?
Yeah, this is... it's about mustard.
That was a white T-shirt. He just spilled a lot of.
I'll say that it
Even
was
measures.
something. It was an interest that I like since I was a little kid. It was something that I was interested in, and I used to like have. There were books about this topic, and I would sort of just obsessively go through them.
Sports statistics.
Nope.
I have another hint because I believe in Talladega Nights.
Yes.
There's like
My
your
character in Talladega Nights
in Talladega Nights
would be an expert on this
Yeah.
too, if you remember that.
I've seen the movie.
Yeah,
it's been
of
a
course.
while.
It's been a while, yeah. I also am in it for about 17 seconds.
Yeah.
So.
That was it.
Congrats.
Thanks.
I was a
No,
smoker
that was
back
one of
then.
the
I used to miss 5 minutes of every hour of each film, so I'm not even
Animals related.
animals related.
Yeah.
Animal related.
Animal related.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Animal related. And there was books on it that he could read as a kid.
Animal you don't have. It's making it
Well,
so easy.
I own cats.
I know. So
So another animal.
All right, here's Westminster.
Dogs.
yeah.
Yes.
Dog
Yeah.
breeds.
I
Yeah.
Dog
like
breeds.
dogs.
Yeah.
I have opinions on dogs and their breeds.
Yeah. And they believe in Talladega Nights you were a dog trainer, right? Or
Yeah, it was. I had German shepherds that I would train to do I believe they do a pyramid in the movie.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
I used to live near a woman who had a German Shepherd in Australia, and she yelled at the dog she learnt German phrases because she believed that the dog understood them.
Oh,
Well, you know what?
The dog was bred in Australia, might I add.
But you know what? They train those dogs still with German words.
Oh, well, she was sold.
Yeah,
she
yeah,
was
yeah.
right in there.
No, but they do.
She was
like,
doing the
especially-
salute and everything.
It's like it's usually like overcompensating guys will get these dogs, and often and it's shepherds and Rottweilers, and they have been trained with German words, and it's because German's the most brutal language on earth. Yeah. That's wise because it sounds cool, but the logic and what the cover story is that way the dog won't get confused by English words. They'll know when you're speaking German, you're either talking to them or ordering schnitzel. I guess.
So in The Great Escape, when the guy gets tricked into speaking English as he gets a boarding ticket, the dog will, you know that scene?
Never seen it.
It's the whole thing. The guy's doing very well, and he goes, "Ich bin to get on the train," and then the German guy goes, your German is very good. And the guy goes, thank you. Oh, no, blast.
Well, let me properly introduce our guest. Actor and writer Andy Richter is best known for his long-running role as Conan O'Brien's announcer and sidekick throughout multiple late-night shows. Andy has guest starred in popular
multiple.
Yeah,
we just kept moving from one place to the other.
It's from your people. I didn't write this.
No. I know. I don't.
Andy,
I don't give a shit. Whenever I'm asked for can you send over a bio? I'm like, say whatever the fuck you want. I do not care.
Andy has guest starred in popular shows such as Arrested Development, Love Victor. His feature film work includes Scary Movie 2, Elf, Talladega Nights, Blades of Glory, Semi-Pro, and Marcel the Shell with shoes.
Cabin Boy.
You were the comic book. You were the book writer in Elf.
Yeah.
I just got a flashback to that.
Yeah, me and Kyle Gass.
Yeah, that's right. You're the book writer.
He has a podcast, The 3 Questions with Andy Richter on the Team Coco network. His Instagram is @Richter Commandy. That's
Richter, Andy.
Oh, thank you. I thought it was like Commander Andy.
No.
Richter, Andy. Yeah.
The guy that has Andy Richter won't let me have it, so. And I'm certainly not going to waste
guy.
more than an ounce of energy attempting it. Like, oh, well.
Spell it out. Richter, Andy, spelled out. And then you have a new call-in show on Sirius XM.
Yes.
Coming out.
It's starting, I think, June 26th. It's either 26th or the 28th. But it's, on the Conan, there's the Conan O'Brien channel on Sirius XM. And right now it's just podcasts on the radio. And they want to do some radio shows that can be podcasts.
Oh, great.
So I'm doing a weekly. Yeah, they were like, "Do you want to do another podcast?" And I was like, "Ugh." And then they said, "How about a call-in radio show?" I was like, "Oh, all right, that's easy. That's just fun and fucking around." And I have a guest hosts come on, and it's great. It's fun.
I'll call in.
Yeah, you could be a guest host.
I'll be a guest host. Even better.
Yeah.
I'm in. If you want me, I'll do it.
Yeah. So far, I mean, it's still kind of, like evolving, like what we're doing. But so far, we've just been sort of like posing topics for conversation, like dating disasters or examples of bad parenting. And then I have, different funny people come on and we sort of, I don't know, counsel the people, hear the stories. I mainly just want to hear the stories.
Are we allowed to tell your story about what you do, or you want to keep that secret? We can cut this bit out right now.
This is.
I don't know what it is, but sure, I don't care.
Okay, cut this out. Cut this out.
Yeah. I mean, I was just in Atlanta working on a game show, and in the same studio that they shoot this game show, they do divorce court. Yeah. And there was a woman on the show who's a comedian. I can't remember her name offhand down there. And she said that like 2 years prior, she did divorce court with her husband. Total fake bullshit. And like they knew like, hey, you want to, they knew she was a comedian, that she was kind of a performer. And they're like, I don't know, we'll make up some, some fake kind of issue for you to have. And you say you're getting divorced.
What game show do you host?
Oh, I wasn't hosting it. It's called 25 Words or Less, and Meredith Vieira hosts it, and it's just like a word game show, and it's easy, and she's great.
I love being on game shows.
I do too. I do. I mean, I like playing games. I don't like. I go on game shows and like, I'll try and be funny, but the main thing is like when they want, like whenever I've done, and I've hosted game shows for pilots and stuff, and whenever they're like, well, the game doesn't matter. I'm like, fuck you. The game matters. Like, the game absolutely matters. If you just want jokes, then don't hire me.
So I did Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, and then I asked my agents, I said, because I did okay in it. I didn't win, but I made a good showing of myself, right?
You could have won.
I could have won if I knew.
You were one letter away from winning.
If I knew the saying, that's the best pineapple I've had in my mouth.
Yeah.
No shit. That was
very common.
That was a common phrase.
That's the best pineapple I've ever had in my mouth. Is it from something?
No one knows. I've asked a lot of people. Anyway,
like a Clint Eastwood movie right before he kills someone.
So I said to my management, I said, can I do Celebrity Jeopardy? And then there was like a silence on the phone. I don't think my management think I'm smart. I think they think I'm basic. They go, pick in random letters, Jim. We can.
Did they really say that?
Yeah, they were like, "You sure?" Because it can be quite hard. Yeah, I want to do Celebrity Jeopardy.
Or it's
Celebrity
even funny
Jeopardy's
if
not
you
hard.
get like the lowest score in history is really funny too.
Oh no, the lowest score in history is minus blah 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 blah.
I know.
I bet you watch the Celebrity Jeopardy, you feel really smart. Then you watch regular Jeopardy, and you're like, I'm a fucking moron.
Oh yeah, Celebrity Jeopardy is definitely dumbed down. I've done a lot of Celebrity Jeopardy.
Yeah.
And and first of all, you can't get a negative
Right.
amount, because if you go negative, because in one of, and it's kind of actually internet famous. I was on about 10, 11 years ago with Wolf Blitzer and Dana Delaney.
Greatest name ever. It sounds like a moment in the World War II.
Yeah.
Wolf Blitzer.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, and he was like the war correspondent on CNN. But Wolf really bit it really hard. And ended up like a couple grand negative at the end. And they just they're like, okay, we're going to zero it out and give you $1,000 just
Throw
to
him in the situation.
play with at the end, yeah. But it was not, people were delighted in it, but it's like, I kind of felt terrible for him.
Well, you have to own these things if you're about it. But when I was on it, I had 80%
Well, not when you're Wolf
of the
Blitzer.
TV coverage.
You did.
80% of the TV coverage, and then I went bankrupt. I just kept on spinning for letters, kept on getting letters, had no fucking idea, and was acting like I knew what it was, but I was just trying to get more letters, but I was panicking up there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, terrible feeling. What I did learn, for anyone who hasn't been on the Wheel of Fortune, is everyone's the same height. They have you on little electronic platforms that go, everyone's the same height. Interesting.
I love
it.
Dogs.
Dogs.
That's cool.
All right, so I'm going to ask Jim a series of questions about dog breeds. At the end of him answering those questions, Andy, you're going to grade him on his accuracy, 0 through 10. 10's the best.
Okay. What if I don't know the answer?
You can say, I don't know about that.
Oh, okay.
That's the point of our podcast. Is
All right, I
not
gotcha.
everybody knows
And
everything.
then streamers come from the sky. we have champagne service comes in. Service.
And then Jack's going to grade him on confidence, 0 through 10. I'm going to grade him on how hungry I am, and we'll put those all together. If you score 21 through 30, you're a pure breed. 11 through 20, a mutt. 0 through 10, a street dog. I would have flipped those, Jack, but
Well, okay.
yeah.
You
But
could.
is there any pure breed street dogs? Like
be.
the way that you went to say.
Yeah, they should be. That probably is, yeah.
There probably should be, because they're all inbred, right? The pure breeds.
Yeah, purebred mutt inbred.
Yeah, purebred street dog. All right, first question, Jim. What is the most popular dog breed in the United States?
Most popular dog breed in the United States of this Americas. Just from the naked eye and walking around and checking things out, I'm gonna say it's a Labrador.
Okay. What dog breed is known for its distinctive blue-black tongue?
Blue black tongue. I think Bluey has a blue black tongue. The Australian sheepdog. Blue
healer, yeah.
healer. Blue healers.
Yeah.
I think healers have a colourful tongue.
What is the smallest dog breed in the world?
Chihuahua.
Okay. What breed was originally bred for hunting lions?
Whoa.
Hunting lions. So you got to think of where lions live.
Yeah.
Good.
You do have to.
And
think
where are
about
they?
that.
Right? They live in Africa.
Good.
Jack. They're African.
Good.
So I'm going to go. What dogs just hang out in Africa?
I don't know.
I've been to Africa a few times.
Just hang out.
Yeah, just the dogs that I see in my day-to-day in Africa.
We've done
I believe-
almost 200 episodes. If you've never said day to day ever until this podcast, I said it
think-
twice earlier.
I would have to say, like, being in Johannesburg, which is where I've only been to. I've been to Zimbabwe as well, but mostly South Africa is where I've hung out. I'm going to say that there's a lot of German Shepherds there because people have their property all bloody electric wired and all that type of stuff, and German Shepherds for guide dogs. So I'm going to say, no, well, they wouldn't be called German then if they were hunting fucking lions, would they?
Get an answer.
The African Kelpie.
Yeah, got it. What dog breed is known for its excellent sense of smell and is often used in military work? Yeah, I shouldn't have put that last
That would be there's a German Shepherd for military. They have an excellent sense of smell, but then you got beagles and bloodhounds and stuff like that. But for military and sense of smell, German Shepherd.
What dog breed has a history that dates back over 4,000 years and was revered in ancient Egypt? No.
Well, it isn't all dog breeds back for over 4,000 years.
Revered in ancient
Have we
Egypt.
had a new one come up lately?
Yeah, but what one was revered in ancient Egypt?
Yeah. Don't worry about it. It would have to be a dog that's in Egypt.
Yeah, but I know I can picture the dog drawn.
Also in Africa.
I picture the dog drawn, and it's like this. I'll say a
You going off the drawings?
settler.
A settler.
No, a pointer.
A winner. Settlers.
Because he's like an Egyptian.
There is a pointer and then a settler. Like it points and then you say no, and then it goes, all right.
Yeah. My wife's a settler.
What breed was historically used to guide horse-drawn fire engines? Come on, get this one.
What's the fire station dog?
Yeah.
With the it's the a bloodhound.
Mm-hmm. What dog breed is known for having webbed feet, aiding its swimming ability?
Hint: it's not a duck.
Yeah. Webbed foot dog.
Day to day.
You're dating
Walking around.
Okay, so that wouldn't be a dog from your inland. That would be
Something that go in the water.
that would
Not
be
your tortoise dog.
That would be
This amphibious dog.
your Malibu Kelpie.
Yep, got it. What breed is
Kelpie is a very versatile breed.
What breed is commonly known as the American gentleman due to its tuxedo-like coat?
Oh, yeah. I know.
So a bit on the breast and then a thing.
Black and white.
Black and white.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I love a husky, but they're all white, aren't they? For the most
They
part.
vary.
Yeah, but they're sort of. I'm gonna say husky.
What is the fastest dog breed?
Greyhound.
Okay. What breed is often associated with a curled...
Which I've always found weird to name a bus, because the bus isn't your fastest vehicle. Right? The train beats the bus. The bus, out of all the land moving things,
Right.
apart from tanks, but like passenger moving things, is our slowest mode of transportation.
Yeah.
That's like calling the blimp the fucking eagle.
Yeah, but I bet you if a bus and a dog sent out from Minneapolis to Kansas City, the bus would get there first.
Yeah, it would be a similar type of thing.
Yeah.
Let's recall them the Kelpies.
And that would be if you tied a bit of meat to the back of that bus.
That's right.
Which breed is famous for its herding abilities?
Sheepdog.
Like specific one.
Lots of.
Yeah, there's a sheepdog.
It's
yeah.
often used in sheepdog trials.
Yeah, okay, so if you ever go to New Zealand, right, you know how
I've been in New Zealand.
we here in America, we watch sport on the TV.
Yeah.
And if you're a big sport, you're the NBA, the NFL, whatever,
Right.
occasionally you'll get a network game. You know what I mean? Most of the time you're on your own apps and you're way back in the background.
Right.
Not in New Zealand. They've got 4 channels like Australia, and they have sheep herding.
Yeah.
On
Like
just-
from the movie Babe.
Yeah, exactly like the movie Babe. Just on the telly.
Yeah.
Where people are going, get around back, come on, hit him up. Like that, right? And people are watching on the TV going, oh, he's a good dog, this one, good dog, he'll do well. And they bloody watch it on the telly like a real thing in the same way that British people watch darts.
Watch darts. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
What?
Did I answer that question? What was it? Oh, it's a sheepdog.
said sheepdog. But that's
the black and white dog out of Foot Rot Flats. Google it, you'll know what I mean.
Border Collie?
Border Collie.
That's your answer? Okay.
Yeah.
What is the only dog breed that is native to Cuba?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The name makes sense. From the name, it makes sense.
The Castro Kelpie.
Killing it.
Is Kelpie a real word? I don't know what that is.
No, there's no Kelpie. I think that's just like a fish-flavored cracker.
All right, we got a couple more questions there, and then we'll go back
There's a
to
Kelpie in there. Kelpie.
which
No,
breed.
you're thinking Keltie.
In Australia, we have dogs called
think.
Kelpies. I'm sure of it.
I think it's Keltie. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
Kelpie. Kelpie.
Yeah, it's Australian dog, Australian Kelpie.
Oh, okay.
Fucking get in,
I didn't
Kelpie.
know about that. There's a Kelpie.
He's a fucking delight of a dog, a Kelpie.
I just think that's what you guys call dogs.
No, we have the Australian Kelpies.
All right.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. God, the year's gone quick, hasn't it? Mm-hmm. Like we're halfway. Feels like we're at the beginning. Life can feel like it's passing you by, or it can feel like it's dragging, or you can feel overwhelmed because it's going too quick. I'll tell you what you do. Get a bit of therapy. When life goes too fast, it's important to take a moment to celebrate your wins and make adjustments for the rest of the year. You've still got 6 months. Therapy can help you take stock of your progress and set achievable goals for the next 6 months. I've benefited from therapy. I've said this before. I believe without therapy, I might not be here reading this ad right now. So maybe that's not the best advertisement for it. Maybe people would go, "Damn you, therapy!
Damn, you work too well."
But I'm a big advocate for therapy. And look, BetterHelp's the best way to do it because you can do it at home. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire and get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Take a moment. Visit betterhelp.com/IDK today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/IDK. You better crank the AC because things are heating up at DraftKings Casino. The excitement is endless, the vibes are right, and the cash prizes are huge. Play hundreds of games all summer long. Dive into Casino Classic or blast off with DraftKings exclusive Rocket. New players start by Forrest, I've got to read the bit that stops people from being silly. New players start by playing just $5 and get $50 in casino credits in your pocket instantly. All you got to do is download the DraftKings Casino app and sign up with the code IDKAT, IDKAT. You'll be soaking up the fun in no time. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or in West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 plus, physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Ontario. One per opt-in new customer. $5 in wages required. Max $50 in non-withdrawable casino credits that expire in 168 hours. See casino.draftkings.com/get50 for eligibility, terms, and responsible gaming resources. One of the dogs that my dad would say, "Oh, you got to run them. They got to run. They're bloody. You got to walk. You can't just have them sitting around the house. If you're not fit, they're not fit."
Okay, we have a couple more questions. Which dog breed was once used for bull baiting is now known for its strong muscular build?
Bull bait? I'll say a bulldog.
Yeah,
that makes sense. They have problems. They get arthritis very easily, and the British really. I think the funny thing is, it does suit the British. It does look like a dog that hasn't gone outside for a long time.
Right.
And is a little bit curmudgeon-y and maybe used to run the world but doesn't anymore.
And whose face is pushing.
What breed is known for its butterfly ears and is a favorite among European royalty?
Corgis.
What breed is known for its corded coat that resembles dreadlocks?
I know that it'll be like a whatchamapoodle or something.
Kelpie. Two more questions. Which breed is commonly referred to as the nanny dog due to its gentle and protective nature with children?
The nanny dog? That would be a pit bull.
And then last question. What breed is known for its unique split nose? Quote, split nose. So I don't know if it's an actual split nose, giving it an almost double-barreled appearance.
Oh.
Split-nosed dog?
Yeah, that's what it says there. I got the answer, but I don't know.
One for smelling, one for cocaine.
Yeah.
Split-nosed dog.
Wow.
I was like Cocker Spaniels, even though I can't picture their dogs being like that, but I like saying Cocker Spaniel.
All right.
Okay, Andy, how did Jim do on his knowledge of dog breeds? 0 through 10. 10's the best.
I think probably about a 4.
Yeah, all right. I'm all right with that.
How do you do on confidence, Jack?
Man, that was a 10 on confidence.
14. All right.
I mean, he was inventing dog breeds all around. I mean, that was confident.
Yeah, I'm not that hungry, so -12. So you're a pure breed street dog. As we said.
Hey,
We grew up with Scottish Terriers, little tiny
Yeah.
dogs now, but in Australia they're called Sydney Silkies. So that's a fun bit for you, and it's because the Australian
That sounds like a homophobic slur.
Oh,
you Sydney Silkies.
we also have a candy bar called a Pollywaffle, so we're out there, Australia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got back to Australia, and it's a candy bar that I liked, and they banned it. It was not banned; it's just been taken off the shelves. They've stopped making it, and I'm like, "Where's all the bloody Pollywaffles gone?" And it sounded so homophobic. slurry.
Yeah.
No more Pollywaffles in this country.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the Sydney Silkie, because the temperature and the humidity in Australia, when a Scottish Terrier is in Sydney, its fur goes silver coloured, and so it's called a Sydney Silkie.
wow.
So there you go.
Do you have a dog?
I do.
Oh, yeah.
I have. I have a blended dog family. My wife and I, which actually it's my first year anniversary today, and I'm celebrating it here. So I got
the dog or your marriage?
Both. Everything's a celebration.
Yeah.
No, but my wife had a dog and I had a dog. I have a big. She's a a border collie, Great Pyrenees German Shepherd
it's a big dog.
mix, and she's about 120 pounds. And then my wife has a little white dog, like one of those, like when we walk dogs in the neighborhood, we see like 4 that look like my, which she'll because her dog is. We have a 4-year-old daughter, and the dog comes before our daughter in my wife's, calculus. So to hear me say that she looks like lots of other dogs will get me in trouble.
Well, she won't listen to this podcast.
You never know. She still loves me, so she's like interested in what I have to say.
The things I've said about my wife on this podcast, I know she doesn't listen to this podcast. I'm 100%
Her mom does.
Yeah, my mother-in-law, hello Becca, she listens to the podcast. I'm very good friends with my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law's closer to age to me than my wife.
Oh, I see.
So I get a lot. No, and she had my wife when she was 21. So, and my wife's 13 years old. It's not freakishly big difference.
Right.
But
No.
My mother-in-law,
Your wife is an adult.
I'm 47. My mother-in-law's 55.
Oh, okay.
So we hang out.
Yeah,
we're all good to go. Anyway, but she listens to the podcast, hello Becca. She even comes and sits and watches when she's in the country. Yep. But I have a very, I believe, fairly effeminate, I like small dogs. Your dog's a good size. Arnie's a good size.
15 pounds.
That's that big.
He's sturdy enough though that he's got like a little mass to him where you're not going to step on and kill him or something.
I like big dogs, but the shit picking up is it's just too big a shit. Too big a shit.
Oh, it's horrifying.
Yeah,
it's bigger than mine.
And she stays in the backyard most of the time, which is okay because then I have like what they pick up trash at Disneyland with, a broom on a stick and a scooper on a stick, but it's a little rake. So at home it's okay. And also I leave it, if a dog shits, you leave it for an hour or two. It's a lot easier to pick up than when it's fresh out of the asshole. But like when I walk her and this morning was just a fucking puddle of horror.
Yeah.
That I had to pick up.
If it doesn't have body to it, what do you do then?
What I do, I actually have extra large dog shit bags that I purchased just for her.
13-gallon bags.
I take 2 of them, I put it on like oven mitts, and then like scoop it and then do the whole thing.
Don't you miss just the plastic bags you used to get from Ralph's that were the standard thin plastic bags? Like they said they got rid of them for the environment, but you always put them in the little waste paper basket in the bathroom or in your office. I always used them again. They were great for picking up shits. Now I'm going to the shops with my reusable bag to buy plastic bags to pick up dog shit later. Something's missing here. I used to get dog shit bags for free.
Well.
All right.
This is how they're ruining you financially.
My other problem with dog shit is, so I take my bins out on a certain day a week. I'm not going to tell you because you might come and fucking fuck around with me bins, right? But I take the bins out on a certain day, and then the truck comes and puts them in. By the time I come back from picking my kid up at school or something, the bins have been sitting out maybe for a couple of hours since they've been emptied. In that time, inevitably, cunts who are walking their dogs have thrown a bag of dog shit in each one of the bins.
Does that bother you?
It does, because now I have a dog shit for a week. The bins have just been emptied. If you did it just before it's empty.
Have you never done that? Have you never done that?
I don't have a dog.
I never done.
Oh, you don't have a dog?
I would have a dog. I'd love to have a dog, but I with the traveling with the comedy and everything, I can't. And my wife is a cat person, so I can't have a dog. If I had a wife who was into having a dog,
if your can's on the streets, fair game. I put it in all the time.
The only thing
but I think if it's full, it's all right. And empty, that's a week of your dog shit.
It doesn't matter.
It's in a bag.
It doesn't matter.
It's
a trash can. The only thing I don't like is when people put it in recycling.
That pisses me off.
Yeah,
so
recycling
much.
or in the yard. Like if you're gonna throw your dog shit bag, I'll throw my dog shit bag in anybody's trash can, regardless of whether it's empty or full. But I'll throw it in the trash can.
Yeah.
If just their recycling or their yard bin is out, I'm holding on to that
rule
shit.
Too.
Yeah.
But let's give it up for picking up dog shits. Let's go back to our childhoods when we were stepping in dog shit on the regular.
Yeah.
And you know what they had in Australia to stop dog shit? Rather than the idea of picking it up, at the front of each classroom, they'd have a metal grate that you could scrape your shoes on. That's how,
Really? Wow.
That's how, they couldn't think of a better system, just the public system. And it was like concreted into the ground. It sort of leant up. You'd go scrape your dog shit off like that. Oh, yeah, that was because because they just assumed that one child would have dog shit, would be carrying shit into the classroom after each lunch.
You know, I actually, it's funny you say that because I have never thought about, because we had dogs, but we lived kind of in a rural part of Illinois, and you didn't even walk your dog. You opened the door and let it out.
Yeah.
And if it was gone 3 hours, you might go like, "Oh, whatever the dog is," you know. But it would just come and go as it wanted to. And I don't ever remember anybody picking up shit in the yard, or there being an apparatus for it, or anything like that.
I remember my parents buying the pooper scooper.
Yeah.
Which was the first scoop it up type of thing, and flinging it over the fence when you got told to do it as a kid. But the pooper scooper. I'll tell you, I've told this sad story. I don't know if I've told it on this podcast. I assume I have. But we had 2 dogs. We had a little tiny Scottish Terrier called
a Sydney Silkie.
Sydney Silkie. We had a Sydney Silkie, and then we got a Doberman. Right now, the Doberman was the same size as the Silkie when it was a puppy. Their feet are fully grown. They're a lovely, awkward animal when they're little. And they become such a mean, lean fight machine, the Doberman. But they're fun. And this dog was a dopey dog, but because the other dog was about 8 years older, it thought the sun shined out of that dog's ass, right? So the little dog was in charge of so the big dog became the big dog, and the little dog remained the little dog. And we used to walk around together, and then the little dog started getting a bit more ballsy around other dogs because it had its henchmen with it.
Yeah.
It was just like this. It would see another dog and just like this, and never used to before. It was chicken shit before. And now it's like, and then it was like, really? You want to fuck with me? Have you seen my friend?
Yeah.
Like that, right? So anyway, these dogs loved each other, and the big one looked up to the little one. Anyway, the little one gets a tick and dies, and it's very sad. It was over Christmas. And
wait, gets a tick?
Yeah, ticks in Australia can really, they're a lot more. And then it lost its control of its back legs. My dad didn't get it in time.
That was another thing, too. Besides not picking up dog shit, I don't remember putting flea or tick medicine on my dogs there. Like now, they didn't have that stuff. You put it in the neck or give them a pill. So if it happened,
This thing, you get ticks in Australia on your legs walking through long grass and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, the dog dies, and then the Doberman gets, like, anyone who says that they don't have memories and stuff, we had a thing that said they don't have long memories. This dog went into a fit of depression. Just a fit of depression. Started running its head into the fence just until its head was all bloody like this, right? And it was the happiest dog in the world. Then it started swallowing fucking rocks, dude. Started swallowing rocks, and my dad took it. It was $500 to get a rock cut out, and my dad did it twice. And he said, if he does it again, we have to put the dog down because I can't keep taking the thing. And I remember being like 13 or something, just crying, holding the dog's face, like, "Don't eat another rock!" And I was in the backyard trying to get every rock out. You never seen a fucking sadder scene in a film, right? And then the bloody dog dug under the ground till it found a rock, and it fucking killed itself, man. I watched a dog kill itself, dude.
Yeah, I think you have told this story on the podcast before, and it always ends sad.
The story's not going to change.
No, I know, but then while you were telling, I was like,
I knew right when it was going. I'm like, oh, it's that one.
Yeah, we had a lot of podcasts. By the way, when we had the dog psychologist on, he didn't say they had no memory.
Yeah.
They have memory, and they remember you. What he said is, 10 minutes after they're removed from a situation, if they're taken from the house where you're at, 10 minutes after they leave your house, they are adjusting to whatever that situation is. So they're not thinking about you. They still remember you, but they're just thinking about what's going on right now in my... They'll still remember all that
this dog
stuff,
did not adjust.
Yeah,
It did not adjust.
Yeah.
I still...
Well, stay at the same house.
Did your folks consider getting another dog to replace...
My parents got dogs right up until... So my father...
But I mean, to replace the one so that this one wouldn't be so lonely and kill itself.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, we should have gotten onto that a bit quicker. My dad bought a dog... Like, my dad's in his 80s, and he bought a dog like 6 years ago that he thought it'll last. You know, it was already an older dog, and he said this one will last until he dies. And the dog died like a year ago or something. And my mother's gone, so my dad's all by himself. And I tell you what, I don't know if there's a sadder thing in the world than hearing an old man talking about burying his last pet, because he said to me, he goes, I can't get another one. It'll outlive me.
Right.
I can't get another one. Right, and then you're just like, so I'm like going down to dog shelters in Australia. This one's got cancer. How long you reckon? 6 weeks? No, I need longer than that.
You got it a year and a half or so?
Tell him to get a dog.
Have you got any dogs with a 3-year emphysema?
All right. What is the most popular dog breed in the United States? Jim said Labrador Retriever.
I think that's right.
Yeah,
I think that's right. It changes, from year to year, but I think that's right.
Yeah, I have. This is, I have some answer that says it's right. Yeah.
They seem to be the friendliest of all the dogs. They, we all know that they make the best guide dogs. I don't think there are other dogs that
they're not really that good for guard dogs. They're
not guide dogs.
Yeah.
Guide dogs for the blind.
Yeah,
guide dogs. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Accent.
Yeah, guard dogs. Definitely not. There's always videos.
Oh no. If Labradors would come up and lick the criminals.
Oh no. Yeah.
But guide dog.
Yeah, right.
For the blind.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do the blind use any other?
I don't know.
I've never seen the blind.
They do. They use different. They use.
How do they know?
Golden retrievers are big for that, and I think shepherds are too.
Shepherds.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen some.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is that the whole support animal industry has been bastardized so badly by the people who get a little
Pomeranians.
bit. With just people who you see people on a plane with the dog barking and stuff like that. I'll go, is that calming you down? Is it? Is that helping you fly? Because that thing seems to be shitting everywhere.
I know,
That thing's got
What
more
the fuck
anxiety
is
than
doing?
you. Yeah.
It's fucking twitching on the plane like this. It can't fucking go along.
That's one of those things that I learned. Don't complain about that on the internet because
people don't like
the
it.
people are just fucking ridiculous about it. It's the same thing like complaining about people seeing somebody pull into the handicap space, hang up the placard, and then very healthfully, go into the store. I complained about that once online, and man. It is not worth it.
Not all disabilities can be seen.
Right.
But on the Jim Jefferies show, which I was a part of, we legally got me a support vest for a camel. I have registered to my name a support camel.
Two different organizations.
Yes.
By the way, simultaneously.
Yeah, we
made
did
a
it
support
online.
camel.
Wow.
I have a support camel that I'm allowed to take into shopping centres with me and all that type of stuff.
And is it a real camel? Did you have a camel or was it just...
It's a movie camel.
It's a camel that works for one of the movie companies or whatever, but I have it registered as my
Pissed
support
everywhere in the studio.
Yeah. It was
Camel
pissing
piss.
during the fucking thing, this big-ass fucking camel.
And there was a custom vest made for it. So two different organizations simultaneously made it a support camel for Jim. And then we had fans would send stuff in, and there was a guy that studies leeches, and he had a leech that registered as a support leech.
Yeah, it was one of those, like on late night shows or whatever, you have a kernel of idea for a sketch or something, and you go, that probably won't work out. And it was the easiest thing we did on the whole show.
God.
Yeah.
Register a camel.
This is my pitch.
Yeah, well, Forrest came up with it. Very good. Well done, Forrest.
Okay.
I still that camel. I shot lots of stuff with that camel. He came out and did a photo shoot.
Yeah.
Dried lake bed.
Yeah. That's how I was standing there with Matt Kirshen next to one of the camera guys, and then Matt just goes to him, "Babe, this is the first time you've shot a camel in the studio, huh?" And the camera guy just turns around and goes, "I've shot this exact camel 8 different times." He knew that was a camel. He was not impressed. He was "Let's see this fucking camel."
That camel was chill with people.
Yeah.
Once you do animal stuff, because we do animal segments on the Conan show all the time. There is a big albino python that I see just oh, there it is on Rachel Ray. Oh, there it is on Kelly Clarkson.
They just make the rounds.
Yeah.
Oh, the albino animals. I always feel bad for them.
Okay.
They do. They're always because they were bred to be that way.
I know, but they're actually popular now. People want to see them.
So what's happening with the albino animals that were from Siegfried and Roy, who are still fucking living, who were at the back of the Mirage?
Oh, those, yeah.
And now my shows
tigers, yeah.
have been cancelled at the fucking Mirage because it's moved over to the Hard Rock. I can't even imagine how cancelled the albino tigers out the back of the Mirage are right now.
And the dolphins.
The dolphins.
They've been gone. They've been gone.
They've been gone?
Yeah.
Okay.
But what's happening with all the Siegfried and Roy tigers and lions that are all white sitting out the back there?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know they were still there.
There's a whole
I didn't
Siegfried
know.
and Roy secret
Well, they're
garden,
gone.
and
They're renovating it.
They kept it as a zoo until those animals died, but they live a really long time, and they had loads of them, loads of white tigers and lions.
There's 12 of them.
Yeah, that used to.
Yeah, I've been to the secret garden.
Yeah. Yeah, those poor fucking things. They used to be a hit on the thing. And then you watch the old footage, they used to swim in the fucking swimming pool with Roy at the mansion. He'd go, "Come here, my pet. Oh, I love you." And used to fight with him. And then the Now they're in a fucking thing at the back of the Hard Rock.
Yeah.
The music will be too loud for them now. They won't enjoy it.
They're a yacht rock guy anyway.
Yeah, they're yacht rock.
Oh, the Mirage is the hard. I haven't been to
Yeah,
Vegas
the
in
Mirage
years.
has now become the
It's a
Hard Rock, and they've just cancelled
They're
because it used
closing
to
it
be the
July
Aces
7th.
of Comedy.
Yeah.
And it used to be like a different comic every week.
Yeah, yeah.
I had like 3 or 4 weekends booked in there, but they just all of a sudden they said, "Oh no, we're keeping that." But they're getting rid of like the Beatles Love Show.
Oh, wow.
So it's like.
Everything. It's closing.
So it's
July
like-
7th, it's
what
closing.
I'm
And they got
saying
rid
is,
of Jim Jefferies.
If they get rid of the Beatles Love Show, I don't like the Tigers' odds.
Yeah.
Maybe the Tigers are doing comedy.
And you are a bet
The
man.
Tigers are comedy. Earn your stripes.
Which dog breed is known for its distinctive blue-black tongue? You said Bluey. I looked it up. Bluey does have some spots, but I
Yeah,
don't
they
think
have spotted tongues.
I think there's different ones that we're looking for.
Specifically is the Chow.
Yeah.
Oh,
The Chow.
Who's the Chow? I
The
don't-
Chow Chow. It's like a reddish one with sort of a.
Okay.
It looks like kind of like a squish.
Oh
husky,
yes.
you
Lisa Vanderpump's.
Does she have one?
They're this big usually.
Oh, but she had a little one, Giggy.
That's
Jiggy.
a Pomeranian.
Jiggy. Yeah, Jiggy.
Yeah, that gets. I think. Yeah,
yeah,
Andy-
Pomeranians are like a small version. of it.
I'm friends with Lisa Vanderpump, and I remember when Jiggy, it broke on like E! News that Jiggy had died, the dog that she carried around all the time. And I did actually ring her up and say, "You doing all right? I'll be okay, buddy." Jiggy, I remember Jiggy was all right.
Yeah, look at that
we had a Chow Chow growing up. His name was Lucky.
They look like puppets. I love them.
They could be meaner than shit.
Very.
Meaner than shit,
So we
those
had
dogs.
one growing up, and we adopted it from somewhere, and it was already named Lucky when we got it. It was all black, and people were very afraid of it because I guess the the catchers were. They said Chow Chows bite them the most of any dogs. Them or maybe German Shepherds. So they were like guard dogs or something like that for emperors. I mean, but yeah, his name was Lucky, and I lived up right near this the place where veterans drink. What do you call that?
The VFW.
VFW, yeah. There's like just a bar there,
Cheers.
and this guy would just see me every fucking week, and he'd be like, "What's that dog's name?" And I'd be like, "Lucky," and he's like, "I had a dog named Lucky," and he would do the same joke every
Hey,
week.
dog,
He had
no,
one
not
eye,
Lucky.
3 legs. Yeah, I'd have to be like, "Thank you for your service, sir." Thanks, never heard that joke by you every week. All right, small.
So back. You have a 4-year-old daughter. You said.
Yeah,
Bluey. Bluey family. You watch Bluey?
absolutely.
Yeah, Bluey.
She went to school in a bingo dress today. Bingo is Bluey's sister.
Bluey was my son's 3rd word.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Bluey,
Wow.
Bluey,
Yeah.
Bluey.
It's a good show.
It's a good show.
It's a really good
they
show.
They just released on their thing today, like they did a parody of the opening of The Simpsons on their Instagram today.
Oh, wow.
So
Oh,
you
cool.
want to get involved. And I love how Bluey, like 8-minute episodes, and then they produced a 23-minute episode. It was a big reveal. The 23-minute esode's coming, everyone.
What?
Yeah.
It was like a movie premiere. Like
No,
I saw it on morning shows and everyone
Absolutely. Yeah, we watched it. I mean, by say we, I mean it was on at my house while I was doing other things. But yeah.
was. The other things were watching Bluey.
No.
You love Bluey. Everyone
I was
watches
beaten off.
Yeah. Watching
You
Bluey.
guys are going to be busy for how long? 23 minutes. I'll only need 3 of those.
Every time Andy's masturbating, you can put your head up to the door and you can hear. Mom. I've actively gone out there to put my name forward to be a voice on Bluey.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like this voice doesn't. I once played a Tasmanian tiger in a movie, but obviously I'm only good for crocodiles, koalas. You know, these are the type of animated films.
Kookaburras.
All
Platypus.
day,
Yeah.
all day.
Right.
So I really want to be on Bluey, and I was working on a TV show that had the same production company as Bluey, like it was all the same producers.
Yeah.
And I actually went to the producer. I said, I don't want any money or anything. I just, even if one episode I get a couple of lines, I'd really like to be in Bluey because I got a little kid and that would be a big deal if I could be in Bluey. And she goes, I'll see what I can do for you. And they sent us a crate of every Bluey toy that ever happened, and I have not gotten a response to the doing the voice. I think that was
a response.
I think the response was, I hope your child enjoys all this stuff.
Yes,
You
yes.
won't be on Bluey.
When you open your mouth to do a voice, shove all this gear in. Shove this merch in there.
Yes. We went to the producer and we said, you know the guy who says cunt a lot? Yes. he wants to be on Bluey.
Smallest dog breed in the world, you said Chihuahua?
Yes.
Gotta be.
Chihuahua.
Gotta be.
Chihuahua. Which breed is originally bred for hunting lions? This is where you really went off the rails. This is where you start with the Kelpie. The African Kelpie, which we didn't know was a real dog, but still not.
I want a Kelpie now. Look how beautiful a Kelpie is.
This is one that it has an African country in its name.
Zimbabwe?
No, it's actually formerly.
The Chad.
No. The Chad. Yeah, that's a dog. The Chad. That's a dog that goes to fish shows. No, the Rhodesian Ridgeback.
The Rhodesian.
Yeah. Rhodesian Ridgeback. Yeah, they have that little bit of hair on the spine that's like, and they're pretty big, right?
They are really cool dogs. They used to.
I mean, look at a Rhodesian Ridgeback.
They're like short-haired, kind of. Brown dogs, but they are. There was a guy. I used to go to a big dog park.
The ridge on the back.
Oh wow!
There's a dog park on Mulholland that's really big, and this guy would bring 2 Rhodesians, and they loved my dog, and they would separate and stalk her.
Oh wow!
Silently stalk her, and it was so evident, like. Oh wow, that's
because it wasn't like just raptors.
It wasn't just like one of them would hunt lions, like a pack of them would hunt.
But they're
lions.
just playing with your dog.
They're just having fun.
Yeah.
But you could see they would not like run up and go, "Come on, let's chase each other." They would go, and then like triangulate.
So when was the dog domesticated? How long ago was the dog domesticated?
I don't know.
Right,
and
so were
you mean
they
the dog generally?
Yeah, just the domestic animal of the dog.
Oh, thousands and thousands and thousands.
Right, so we've had them as pets.
Prehistory. Yeah.
Right, we've had them as pets since the beginning.
Absolutely.
It says between 12,500 and 15,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And then some people might have interacted with them as early as 130,000, so forever. Yeah.
And they're sort of indigenous across the world. They all come from. So Australia didn't have any dogs, and it's a misconception that the dingo is from Australia. That's introduced from we did this
China. I'm pretty sure
from China. That was an Asian dog that was introduced to bring into probably
kill rats. Or
something like that. Yeah, but that, a long time ago. But it's like only a couple of hundred years ago they brought in the.
But it actually took I remember this from we were doing the research. It took the place of the Rhodesian of the Tasmanian tigers who used to be there to cull the kangaroos and stuff, and so the dingoes took their place in the eco.
Oh, the dingoes are
took their place. It's not perfect that they're there,
but they're not actually from there. So, but Australia's got their own funky animals. Right. That's our whole thing.
Did the Tasmanian tigers did they eat babies too?
Probably. It sounds like they.
Yeah.
If it doesn't
That's
sound
what
good.
the dingoes were.
Tasmanian tiger stole my baby. It's too much of a mouthful.
Keep the baby population in check. Too many fucking babies, mate.
Well, they reckon that if they're going to bring an animal back from the dead with DNA and cloning, that the Tasmanian tigers and the woolly mammoth are your two.
The closest.
They're the ones they have little stillborns in alcohol sitting ready to go where they may be able to do this.
Wow, yeah.
I
think the woolly mammoth, it's possible, and they're just like not doing it because we're still like, we've seen too much science fiction to be,
Yeah, the scientists are big fans of Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
We don't want to be taken over by woolly mammoths.
Yeah.
You're just hairy elephants.
Dog breed known for its excellent sense of smell. Used in military work. You said German Shepherd.
Yeah.
German
Shepherd. What I learned about German Shepherds is I'm friends with a guy who was in SEAL Team 6, right? Actually the bloke who killed Bin Laden. But
He's been
on different podcasts. And all
is he friends with Lisa Vanderpump too?
No,
the three of you going out to...
I'm doing the best name dropping today.
The three of you playing pickleball together?
Lisa Vanderpump and me became friends during COVID. I did her podcast once, and my wife's a big fan of the show, and she invited me up to Villa Rosa to hang out with the dogs. She's like 8 dogs all wandering around. She's a wonderful lady, fantastic.
I think Andy's right though. That's a picture that needs to happen. You need to get Rob and Lisa Vanderpump.
I can get that. I can get that. All right, don't worry about that. Anyway, but he said that I think he said it on the podcast as well, that when the German Shepherds are strapped to the SEAL team's chests and they parachute, that the dog fucking loves it. Because some people have claimed, that's animal cruelty.
Right.
They reckon it's the ultimate head out the car window.
Yeah.
They've never been happy. Like,
wow.
They reckon as they're free falling like this, the dog's like this.
Could smell the whole planet. Like, I got it all.
The dog's over the fucking
Yeah, and
food.
they probably feel secure enough being all strapped in, and they totally try. Like my dog is very protective. My big girl is very protective, but if there's something like when the woman, because like when she goes to get her teeth cleaned, and it's like this tiny little woman that goes to clean her teeth, she hides behind me whimpering. So like I still am, like if I'm home alone,
The pack leader, yeah.
she's not patrolling. Like when my daughter's home, she's in the backyard, she's in the front, she's always on guard. But when I'm her daddy, so she doesn't. So I imagine for them, it's like, well, daddy's got me. I don't need to freak out about jumping out of a plane.
Yeah.
The second I stop touring as a comedian, I think I'll get a dog. If I can be home enough.
Yeah, I got my dog 3 years ago, and it is harder but I still am happy I got him.
How long are you gone for a stretch?
Like I've got a 2-month trip coming up.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. I
unless you get a little fucking,
I could become like Fluffy, who has his 2 hours, and I need
like
the private jet and the I need everything
Mickey
that Fluffy
Rourke
has.
Or Mickey Rourke has a little dog that he has.
Okay,
everywhere.
but I go to Australia.
You can't bring it to Australia.
You can't.
Oh, that's right.
Do you remember
that's
what
right.
happened with Johnny Depp
I
and
do,
Amanda
I do.
Heard when
I
she
do.
just brought it in the private
UK's
jet?
the same way. They have a big quarantine for the UK.
Australia
for
has
dogs.
a very delicate ecosystem, and
Yeah.
we're
Fucking
we're a
pussies.
little bit we're a little bit
Fucking
upset.
ticks.
We're still upset about the fucking cane toads.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That was the bit where we went fucking. But I'll tell you who's worse than us is the New Zealanders
New
with
Zealand.
fruit.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, New Zealand with everything because they have no predators, really.
Yeah, they have no predators. They
Yeah.
can't. There's certain things, and they've kept everything out, and it's been
Yep,
easy
yep.
because no one wants to go. And,
But also fruit.
and so they
Billionaires do. Yeah.
So there was a guy. My wife was there with my the baby and my
In New Zealand?
In my mother. Yeah, I was touring New Zealand. I went in, and they were like all on the plane like this. We're coming from Australia, New Zealand. If you have any fruit on you, please do not bring any fruit into the country. It is imperative. A lot of imperatives.
Imperative.
Right. So
Imperative.
so they kept on saying, don't bring fruit. And I said to my wife, I said, make sure you don't have any bloody fruit. They're not fucking around. They're not fucking around about the fruit. This way. This guy had a mask on, like he was Darth Vader with a tube coming out of it because he was in charge of looking through bags and stuff like that. And he's like this. He goes, so do you have any fruit in this bag? And my wife's like, no, I don't have any fruit. He goes, are you sure? And I've already gone, oh, fuck, here we go, right? And she goes, yes, I don't have any fruit. He goes, are you positive? And she's like, yes. And he went, what about this? And he brought out a fucking orange like it was a Perry Mason episode. and then she went like this, and I went, oh, for fuck's sake, right? And then I was only bothered because I know that the New Zealand government were going to take her to her room and berate her for at least an hour, right? And I just
And were they, or did they just take it and ditch it?
$400 and something fine.
Wow.
And my wife and my mother-in-law went off into a room to get told off, and I took care of the baby out.
Because in Hawaii has a
Jeez.
very strict
Yeah.
thing like that, but they just take it and throw it away. I don't think you get fined. Wow.
No. That orange, that was expensive orange.
Wow. It's probably because
Did they get to eat it?
It's probably I bet you there's some complicated destruction of that fruit.
There would be some fruit fly that they don't like.
Yeah.
That they don't have in the ecosystem they're trying to
It's
Imperative.
so isolated, New Zealand. It's so isolated.
They got no snakes, no predators.
Right.
It's an interesting place. It's the only country, let's be honest, where their national emblem is a flightless blind bird.
Yeah.
That's anywhere from that size to the size of a football.
Yeah.
Right? And it can live just like this, waddling around without getting fucking eaten.
Except for the cats. Like, they
Yeah.
have to
Exactly.
fence
Domestic-
out areas because of
They
cats.
can keep out any animal from any country except the domestic cat.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
people are like, nah, fuck it, we'll risk it. People love cats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dog breed in history that dates back 4,000 years and was revered in ancient Egypt. I don't remember what you said.
I said there's something pointer.
Oh, that was just the pointer
Those are
settler
pointers
one.
and the gatherers.
Yeah.
You know this one, Andy? Or?
It's a greyhound or a
Gray-
saluki, I think.
It says greyhound here, yeah. Yeah, it looks like a greyhound, and you had it right on the drawing. It's like greyhound.
It was always
probably
it's always
Saluki,
six.
too.
I can
Probably both,
picture
yeah.
it now in the drawing. When did the whippet come in?
Whippets are, I think, just a
dwarf greyhound, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, miniature
exactly.
greyhound.
They just, the thing about dogs that's amazing to me is just how, I actually said this before. Like people say, we don't deserve dogs, and I'm like, yeah, we do. We fucking invented them. Like we genetically engineered every fucking single one of them.
That's right.
Yes, we do deserve them.
That's always in the comment section.
Yeah, yeah.
Every dog video ever. We don't deserve
dogs. No, we do. It's like I baked a pie. You said you don't deserve that. Yeah, no, I fucking baked that pie. That pie is mine.
You can't have it and eat it too.
Yeah.
Whippets were the dogs of Egyptian kings too. It says likely originated through breeding greyhounds with pariah dogs.
The whippets are synonymous with only the north of England and only really Yorkshire, up around Leeds and all that type of stuff. They're mad for whippets. That's like a Yorkshireman will have whippets running next to them. That's their thing.
Greyhounds were hunting dogs too, and they're of a subset of dogs, and they're called sight hounds because they hunt by sight, which is a very rare kind of thing. Yeah. Like most dogs hunt with their noses, and they're fast for like bringing down, I don't know, impalas and shit like that.
So is it true that they see in black and white? Because there's a thing going around the internet that the pastels of Bluey, the color scheme of Bluey, dogs are watching it because it fits their cones and rods.
Oh.
That dogs can see Bluey. Now, they're arguing that they did that on purpose so the dogs could watch it, or it could have been a happy accident.
Right.
But
I'm going happy accident.
Yeah,
but I always heard it was black and white, and now it's like there are pastels.
This says they do see in black and white, but they do have some color. Again, this is the internet, so dogs have two types of cone receptors, which are sensitive to blue and green light. That's what they're saying. So
Bluey?
they might see some.
All right, Google,
might be right.
Can dogs watch Bluey? I'm telling you, there's a thing.
Oh, wait. This is saying it is a myth that they only see in black and white. Scientists have proven this to be a myth, so there is some color.
Some color.
Yeah.
Dog.
This is Adelaide Vet.
This can't be right.
Australian even.
Dogs have a short attention span, so Bluey's kid-friendly 7-minute long episodes may be the right length.
That's the right answer.
This is People Magazine research. That can't be right.
I like how in Bluey all the different dogs have the different dog disabilities.
Yeah.
Like there's like dachshunds, which obviously are no use. They can't reach anything. I had a dachshund growing up, a lovely dog, Heidi. We called it. We had a weird thing with my family. We always called our dogs like human names.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, Arnie, yeah.
Yeah, Arnie. Yeah.
So, Heidi was this dog but whatever happened to the dog that just lives outside? I don't feel like they exist anymore.
They do in places. I mean, it depends on where you live. Like, if you live on a farm, you definitely have a dog. And if you live in a temperate climate, you have a dog that lives outside.
My father had dogs that lived outside, and then certain dogs he decided is an inside dog.
Yeah,
and then it'd be another outside dog. And like dog houses were a thing.
Yeah.
But you don't need them anymore. The dogs go in there and
some dogs, people have dogs that...
Yeah, and if you have a dog here, you need it to get some out of the heat. You need it to get some protection from the sun.
Into a doghouse? That's where they fucking throw prisoners in those old war movies where they're fucking serving them water out of a sift.
They don't know.
Yeah, they drink out of ponds and shit.
Into the hole.
Is it dachshund or dachshund?
It's dachshund, but that's just
I say
Aussie
dachshund,
pronunciation.
We had a long-haired one, which is a lot more rarer, but like a short-haired dachshund is sort of the sausage dog.
Breed historically used to guide horse-drawn fire engines. You didn't say Dalmatian. You said something else.
Oh, Dalmatian's a fire.
He said bloodhound. He said bloodhound.
There used to be a comedian that did like in Australia, and I'm talking like 25 years ago, and his bit was, and it was quite funny now I look back at it. It was 101 Dalmatians colouring in book. Because every page was already coloured in.
Yeah.
It's like, and then there was one page where the dogs were all sitting around a piano.
They're supposed to be dumb Dalmatians.
Yeah, they are purely. That's a breed purely bred for fashion. Just for those dots. They just fucked around with different coach dogs. Until,
It is funny that we can do that about animals, though. We can go, that breed's a moron. Imagine if we did that with people. Oh, my goodness. I don't have any opinions.
You can't afford to.
Moving on.
Which dog breed is
That
known?
one's fast.
Don't do that. Which dog breed is known for having web feet, aiding in swimming? But you said the Malibu Kelpie. It's on your Kelpie run right now.
Great at surfing. Yeah.
I want a Kelpie now. It's such a delight of a dog.
There's actually a few of those.
Yeah.
I think Labs have it, but I think like Newfoundlands have it.
Newfoundlands, yeah.
I think the Portuguese water dog has web feet.
That was the Obama's dog, right? They had
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
Yeah, it says
But-
Newfoundland and all those
where
dogs
would
you
we
just said,
say
yeah.
all dogs' genetic origins, Darwin origins?
Grey wolf. Grey wolf.
Great wolf. So that's Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all,
but there's wolves everywhere.
not in Australia. We didn't have any wolves.
Well, not in Australia, but I mean
New Zealand wouldn't have any wolves. They'd fucking eat all the Kiwis. We've gone over this.
everywhere but those fucking
Everywhere that's important.
down below where anyone below
Tell
the
me about the
stop
Fiji
caring
wolf.
line. No, but I mean there's wolves in Asia,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess maybe I guess it would be in that landmass, but there's wolves in North America and
There was
South
that ice
America.
bridge, so maybe they came across the
Yeah,
ice bridge.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
North America had wolves.
Yeah.
They danced with them.
Yep.
They actually think though the Chihuahuas might be evolved from foxes, prehistoric fox.
I was wondering when we said because they're so small that
Yeah.
I was hanging out with Fluffy once, and he goes to me. He goes, "You got dogs?" I said, "No." He goes, "Yeah, I got a couple of Mexican doorbells." That's what he called Chihuahuas. Mexican doorbells. It's a pretty apt answer.
Yeah.
what breed is commonly known as the American gentleman due to its tuxedo-like coat? You said a husky.
Yeah, I got that wrong.
Boston Terrier.
Yeah.
Boston Terrier. My brother has two of those.
Yeah.
My brother has two Boston Terriers.
It does?
Yeah, Danny has
I didn't know.
Boston Terriers. His two dogs are Boston Terriers, and fuck me, I don't know what he feeds them, but those dogs fart. His two do more than any dog I've ever met. He's got a dog that farts like at a good fart for England, right? like a professional, right? But yeah, the
Well,
Boston
they're the
Terriers.
American
but
gentleman.
they are as dense a creature that we have on
Yeah.
this earth.
Like a ham.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like when you like try to pick up a dwarf, you don't do it anymore. But back in the day, they're dense, right? That's the Boston Terriers. They're solid like a ham.
All right, I just had something. I'm not going to say it.
Right.
What is the fastest dog breed? Greyhound, you said?
Yeah, it has to be. Has to be. Otherwise, why are we racing the other ones? But I think with dog racing,
I know whippets are pretty
So
fast,
you go
right?
to but not as smaller. So, but you go to the dog races, and they have the little furry rabbit goes like that, and they reckon if the dog catches the rabbit, they stop racing. If the machine breaks and the dogs catch up to it, those dogs are ruined because they go like this. It's just a fucking stuffed animal. Because they keep them hungry before the race,
Yeah.
and then they throw the thing out there. If the dog finds out, it won't do it anymore. So there has to keep the illusion.
Where does it
of
go
a
at the
real-
end? I never realized
It
it.
should-
It goes
It
into
should-
a little housing,
It
and
goes
then the
into-
dogs attack the shit out of
you
it.
really-
Yeah, it goes into the thing. But if,
never thought of that.
Like if you want to see degenerates at the horse racing, that's one thing. But go to the dog racing on a Tuesday. You'll see some colourful folk there, I tell you.
Why are you there?
I'm a degenerate.
Okay.
But I used to go in
He's
Western
looking for pals.
because also there's something you can go there with $20 and bet $2 a race, and you can have it's a long day.
Watch dogs attack a
when
box.
I've been to the dog track. I don't even know where there is a dog track anymore.
I don't know in LA. No.
But I mean, in Florida, I went when I was younger, and I actually kind of preferred the dogs. Although now, apparently it's just a brutally cruel.
Yeah.
I guess people say horse racing is bad, but it's like horses are big and expensive, and dogs, they just dump them wherever. Like if they don't run, they just either kill them or dump them. So it's awful, and I wouldn't do it again.
Are you from
but-
Florida?
No, but I mean, just when I would go down there.
You
And,
just said someone dumping animals and killing them. You from Florida?
He said when he's in
'cause
Florida. I'm from
'cause
Florida, so I was
Florida is
thinking,
where most of the dog racing is.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
But what I liked about it is it was kind of like just like there wasn't a human involved.
Yeah.
It was just you truly were like, it was like a fast version of the
I always
hermit
thought
crab
those
races.
animals were quite loved, though. There must be some
There's a big
owners
rescue
who love
effort.
them.
There's a big rescue community.
Yeah,
for the
no,
greyhounds
not,
at the race,
yeah, no. I mean, surprise, surprise. a lot of scumbags at the track.
Yeah. Okay, and also with the dog racing, when you see the horses, I always used to put my bet on the dogs right at the end because you'd see them do their parade and well, that one's a bit frisky. He's good to go. That one's got his head down. Look, I never made any money, so I'm probably wrong. But why do have different classes? Go. All right, that was the greyhounds, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Now pugs.
10 minutes. We're going pugs.
It's a very short race. They only got to do.
We're going the Chihuahua 1000.
My family's from Chicago. My sister lives in the western suburbs, and I had work there. And I told her, I said, I'm coming this weekend. And then I stayed a couple extra days out with her. And she's like, oh, good, you'll be here for the Weiner dog races. And I was like, what is that? And there is a semi-pro, or, what do you call it, minor league hockey team in her town. And they have a rink. And in between the three
not on the
periods,
ice. On the ice.
Dachshund races on the ice. First there's a heat with 30 of them, and then they winnow it down to 7 or 8. It was really pretty great.
I'm not all for animals, but I'd like to do one of those things in the snow with the huskies pulling you. That looks like something.
Yeah.
That looks like would be.
I feel bad. I'm too fucking.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it. But they always tell you they like it.
You better throw on a few more dogs.
Yeah. but they always say they like it, and I don't know.
They seem to.
They seem to, yeah. But it's yeah. But I have a wife who's a vegan. It's very hard to do cruel animal things in front of her.
Yeah. I have a wife that's a vegetarian, but
yeah.
So I can be meaner and shit to eggs and cheese.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't care.
My wife will eat a free range egg that she sees the chicken lay it in a happy environment. So I have a friend who has chickens.
Sauna.
So what I do is I bring back eggs in a brown bag that are just from the shops. And I say that I've been down to Todd's house if I want to cook eggs. And something I'm cooking.
Right.
Dog breed that's native to Cuba. You said a Castro Kelpie.
Castro Kelpie.
Can't be right.
This is the one, Havanese.
You have a niece.
God damn it, I'm out of here.
I don't even know what that looks like. It's like Havanese.
It's one of those little long-haired kind of ones.
Which dog was bred for bull baiting?
Oh, yeah, they're a cute dog. Yeah, they're ones you put a bow on at the top of its head.
Exactly.
It's one of those ones. Okay, this is one. Dogs that need to be sheared or trimmed.
My dog has to be.
I know, but surely they should. I guess it's been 15,000 years of us bloody having them, so we've been doing it. So
exactly.
It's the same as sheep get to this big if we leave them. My brother had a dog, and I don't know if he's listening, but I can say it now. The dog's been dead for about a decade, called Snowy. Snowy was a schnauzer. I don't know if I ever met a dumber animal. Right? Snowy, the schnauzer, are they regarded for being stupid? This dog was as dumb as a rock.
No, they're not. I think they're just sort of normal.
It might have just been like people, like you get a random thicko.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
A thicko.
I've known you a long time. I've never heard you say thicko.
It's a day-to-day thicko.
I've become very
I'm going to be using that.
Yeah, you got uggos and thickos.
I like it.
Some people are double like double O.
I like in Australia that they put Y's on everything that is like, that they like, and O's on everything that is like meant to be shitty.
Yeah.
Or there's something that's very dangerous and terrible to put the words. They call the biker gangs that sell meth, they call them bikies.
Bikies.
And I'm always like, that sounds adorable.
Right,
but
What's the plant that'll kill you? The gimpy?
There's a town called Gympie, if that's what you're referring to.
No, there's that plant.
What's the plant that people have killed themselves at? The gimpy?
Yeah, we did it.
Gimpy plant, yeah.
Gympie.
It'll kill you.
I hope it doesn't cripple you,
apnea.
because that's really
that would
insensitive.
I imagine.
It doesn't kill you.
It's really insensitive.
Just one of your legs doesn't work anymore.
Bring out the Gympie. No, I would imagine that's an Aboriginal word, the Gympie. Australia's gone very in. So when I was growing up, things were called westernised names that the Europeans came over and named, and now we're going back to the Aboriginal names. I think it's cool, man. Like Uluru instead of Ayers Rock and things like that.
The dog breed that was once used for bull baiting is known for its strong muscular build. You said a bulldog. That was
There's bulldogs, bull terriers, Staffordshire bull terriers.
Staffies, yeah.
and they were all bull baiting, so they were used to get the bull. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah,
See, so a Staffordshire Bull Terrier would have to come from Staffordshire, right? Which
Yeah.
is in the north of England. And then, so is that indigenous or is that just where it was bred the whole time? I don't know. I don't know how these things
They would. Well, there was bear baiting too, and it just basically they'd sick dogs on animals, and then I think you would bet on who would come out the winner.
Yeah.
And why
They don't deserve dogs.
Every now and again, when you get a dog that's got a bit of wolf in it or a little bit of dingo in it, which is like wild dogs,
Yeah.
you know, it's been breeding. People always, watch out for that dog. It's got a bit of dingo in it, and you're like, they're all wild animals in its own right.
You gotta watch out for all
I
dogs.
wouldn't be prejudiced against one that's got a bit of dingo.
Well, you got to kind of play the odds. You know, like it's like there are people who
I've
are
got a bit of Scottish in me, and that's a lot of shame for me.
right, and you're cheap.
I like the Scottish. Coming to tour you soon. See you then.
Well, like my son, his grade school, they were like, I don't know what the name of this. It was like, but they had a mascot dog that would come to like school spirit day, and it was like half wolf. It looked like the biggest husky you've ever seen. And kids would absolutely climb on that thing like a jungle gym.
Right.
And it just was absolutely fine and loved it, But then I know other people that have had wolf hybrids where it's like, oh, don't touch him. Don't do that, But that's any,
It's for people.
My dog's this big, and I tell them because he gets snappy if he doesn't know you.
Although I
treat a dog nice, it'll treat you nice. If it's shown love its whole life.
But there are some things like I had, and I have a personal history. My daughter, when she was about 7 years old, got bit in the face by a pit bull Rottweiler mix.
Oh, that's not fun.
I'm a little suspicious of those dogs. And when people say it's just the owner, it's not the dog, I'm like, yeah, but we bred them to bite bulls in the face.
Yeah.
Like it's like saying, well, the Newfoundland it's not a good swimmer. Like, no, it is a good swimmer because we made it for that. And then we made these dogs. We like chose which ones to breed based on their aggression. And, and yes, they're sweeter than sweet.
How is your daughter now with dogs? Is she okay?
She was fine, like, at that time. She's 18 now.
Yeah.
And she was, at that time, like, when it was hard, we went to Children's Hospital immediately as they were stitching up her face. And they had different videos that she could watch. And she chose the dogs. Like, it was like dogs or cartoons or, something else. And she chose, I want to see the puppies. So she loves dogs. It has made her. But, she went up and asked, can I pet that? She did everything right.
Yeah.
And it's still just kind of, she did get too close to his face. You don't ever want to, like if you got a kid, don't let your kid put their face. And I was standing there and was about to go, and it had already happened.
Right.
And, but I've met plenty of pit bulls that I absolutely love, but I don't think I would ever have one.
Yeah. I feel the same way about pit bulls. I don't want to eradicate them off the earth or anything like that. But
in the UK, they do. You can't have them.
Yeah, they're banned in certain countries and all that type of stuff. And I just feel like, yes, and everyone goes, it's the owner, not the thing. But it just so happens, in my experience, and this is just off the eye check on my day-to-day viewing, that not all pit bulls are cunts, but there are a lot of cunts who own pit bulls.
The owners,
yeah. There's a guy by my kid's school that has a beautiful pit bull that seems very sweet and very friendly, but he has like this chain around its neck.
Yeah.
It's a hardware store chain that you could like dock a fucking yacht with.
Yeah.
And it's just like, fella, come on.
He also has one of those three-wheel cars, right, with the two wheels in the front.
There's a little bit of a middle finger to the world when you get a pit bull. There's a little bit where you say, and I know people, look, write your fucking
People are going
things.
to write, but...
Yeah, I'm not going to read it.
Okay, let's keep going.
Forrest, I looked up bull baiting,
Yeah.
and every image that came up had dogs just flying through the air.
Jesus.
I know, so bull baiting's bad.
Yeah.
I leave the bulls
Bad for everybody.
alone
The
and
bulls,
all.
the dogs, nobody likes it.
I'd say we were there first. We did a gig in Lisbon, Portugal.
Yeah.
And our backstage area smelled like bullshit. And the reason for that is They had bullfighting the day before we were there.
Oh, jeez.
That's what I was in a bull ring.
was round.
There was
It was a
sawdust
round-
everywhere and all
Yeah,
this stuff round.
It looked like a gladiator. Remember, it was like round.
It looked like the theater from the film clip for Thunderstruck.
Yeah.
You know, like with ACD, they're all sort of standing on top and there's that wall of people.
Oh, the Thunderdome. Yeah. You mean or
No,
Thunderstruck?
Thunderstruck.
Oh, okay.
Thunderstruck.
Sorry,
That's
the
Tina
video.
Turner.
Oh, yeah.
Tina
Now I
Turner.
remember. Yes, it did look like that.
Yeah. And there was just the smell of, literally the smell of
Yeah.
bullshit.
We walked in,
the
you're
air.
like, what the fuck is that? It's like, got some food for you backstage.
The-
You're like,
the-
Fresh steak.
The billboards were like me and bullfighting.
good show.
Yeah.
What breed is known for its butterfly ears and was a favorite among European royalty? You said a corgi. Do you know this one?
It would be papillon
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's the French word
Papillon.
for
Papillon.
butterfly.
Like that movie.
Okay, a couple more questions here. The
So
one,
why did the Queen like the corgis? Have the corgis been a renowned thing
I don't know.
forever? Or is she?
They
And what's
all-
happened to her corgis? Does Charles give a fuck? I don't know if Charles gives a fuck.
Well, first of all, I'm sure that somebody,
There's somebody,
did
yeah.
most of the. There was probably just somebody whose job was corgi wrangler.
I reckon you had a couple of people.
or three. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that it's a very aristocratic thing, and in fact, I think there's a scene in something, probably The Crown, where she's talking to her uncle that abdicated.
Yeah.
I
The
can't
Nazi one, the one that used to hang out with Hitler a bit.
And he was pugs, and she was corgis. And I think even in that, she says, like, they're quite gassy. But, like, it's a thing with the aristocracy to pick a breed and then surround yourself with 1,000 of them.
What is your opinion on purebreds versus, for lack of a better
Mutts.
term, mongrels or
Yeah,
mutts? Mixed breeds.
I mean, I think I'm not gonna, if people want to do dog breeding and like I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's no, we do it, it's fine,
Yeah.
But I would not. I would only get a rescue dog.
Yeah, my
at this
wife's
point.
big on the rescue dogs as well, and
Yeah.
she rescue
There's
pets.
just so many, and I mean, you don't have to just let like I've always had good luck with them, but like I kind of went and like. I didn't just like pick one out of a book,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
something. It's like you go and you hang out for a little while, and you're like, "Oh, this guy seems cool," and then
Yeah.
my guy looks like a breed. My guy's like very good looking dog, and people are like, what is he? I'm like, he's a mutt. Got him at a rescue.
Yeah, but,
Yeah, my
but,
dog's
but,
the same
but
way.
like people,
yeah.
mixed
Yeah.
race are the best looking.
Yeah. He's
Yeah, because my dog looks like
you
a
give
great.
me a little bit of something, I go from a 4 to a 6.
you've seen him. My dog's.
I know.
He's
I
a
know.
9.
He's very
Yeah,
handsome. He's
he's
very
like-
good. Very good looking.
When I walk him through the casinos when I'm working in Vegas, people are just like I'm like, do not, no.
Stay away from him.
What breed is known for its corded coat that resembles dreadlocks? Whatchamapoodle is not the right answer.
Whatchamapoodle.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
don't
Snickerdoodle.
Poolie or a Commodore. I think there's two
yeah,
of them.
Pulley, yeah.
No, I don't know that dog.
The dreadlock dogs. Which breed is commonly referred to as the nanny
wow.
dog due to its
Looks like a
Yeah,
mop.
I know. Oh, yeah, that one.
And look up Commodore with a K, Komondor. I think it has that too.
And then
Commodore. That sounds like a leader
Yeah.
of a group.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they must fucking
you
get
knew all the
shit in
answers,
their-
Andy. You
They
said
must
you
get
didn't know if you're
shit-
gonna know 'em, but
They
you know
must
'em
get
all.
shit in their fur, eh?
Oh well, that.
That'd be a pain
You
in
know
the
what?
ass.
Actually, that kind of fur, it repels brambles and keeps them very, very warm. Those
really?
are absolutely high mountain.
Really?
Stock guarding dogs.
Yeah, because they could walk through like thorny stuff,
Absolutely,
no problem.
yeah,
You know what dog I like? I like a Saint Bernard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're,
Big
they're
one.
sloppy.
I tell you, who has a big ass fucking dog. Lockwood Patterson has the 2 biggest dogs I've ever
Lachlan?
seen. Yeah, I find out what his dogs are.
Probably a Great Dane or something.
No, they're big. They're big. They're like great big. They chew through bones. Like he throws like a leg of lamb out there and just eats the bone and
Jesus.
everything. It devours the whole thing. These are fucking monsters.
Because I know for what
I've never seen dogs like them. I've never seen anything like them.
There's some kind of Russian dog that there's there's some studio that does like internet stuff that I did played virtual golf with Matt Walsh for charity, and the studio owner's dog has a fucking lion, like some kind of
Right.
It looks like a some kind of like mastiffy kind of dog, but it's
one,
like a
big
lion.
head and
Yeah.
big bloody monster of a dog. If there was a human living inside of it, you wouldn't be surprised.
What breed is commonly known as a nanny dog due to its gentle protective nature of children? You said the pit bull, I'm sure, as a joke.
Yeah.
But
Not knowing Andy's story.
I would say,
If I knew that story, I probably wouldn't have poked fun at it.
Is it a golden retriever?
This says Staffordshire Bull Terrier, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if a Staffy's
Oh,
good
wow.
around kids.
Yeah, because I said it's gentle around children or something. but I
Maybe it
didn't-
is. I
Yeah.
don't know.
A Staffordshire Bull Terrier looks like a little dog that's been taking roids.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would have called this guy a pit bull. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it's
maybe
like
not.
a small.
Pit
It's a
bully.
pit bull that's like a little
This
smaller.
was ChatGPT gave us this. And the last question: what breed is known for its unique split nose, giving it almost double-barreled appearance? Do you know this one?
I don't know this one.
This says the Cattleburn or Turkish Pointer is known for its split nose.
pull it up.
I've
Turkish
never-
pointer.
Yeah, all right. I shouldn't have spoke too soon, Andy. I'm sorry. You got one.
No.
You ever seen the?
I don't know.
Oh wow,
about
it does
that.
have a split nose. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
I've never even heard of that. Oh wow.
Yeah, that is a
split down the
weird-
middle of the head. That dog looks like it's standing on the side of a mirror.
Yeah.
It looks like a Rorschach
Right.
painting.
Or
I'll
it
tell
was
you
like-
a good dog movie to watch. There's a movie from Australia called Red Dog. Nice movie. It's the same as Bluey. There's red and blue versions of that dog, and it's basically
Does it involve someone dying at the end?
no,
No,
it's
it's
just a
not that
nice
old.
story.
Oh.
Nice
Oh, all
story.
Oh, that is a good dog movie.
It's not like
then.
every dog movie's like this. The owner dies. The dog visits the grave
Yeah.
for the rest of its life. There's a statue of in Edinburgh of a little tiny Scottish terrier that kept on visiting. It's the Greyfriars Bobby, and there was a Disney movie made of it. Then another Disney movie made of it. It's a famous thing.
I remember that movie. Yeah, seeing
Yeah.
that when I was a kid.
The
Yeah.
Greyfriars Bobby, and then there's another one that Richard Gere has, like a husky.
It's from there's a dog in Japan.
And that's the English version of
That's
the
the
Japanese
English version of
movie.
the Jap-
and the
yeah,
dog
yeah.
kept on going to the train station
Yep.
waiting for him to come back all,
Yep.
all the time. This one's not like that. It's just the story of a red dog from the outback who was basically a homeless dog that maybe didn't have an owner or something that the town decided was their dog.
Yeah.
And it went to different houses and got fed, and people would clean it, and sometimes it would stay in this dog, and sometimes it would stay here, and sometimes and it's a true story, and there's a statue of the dog that like it touched the hearts of this community so
Yeah,
much
yeah.
that the dog is revered.
Yeah.
But it's called Red Dog.
That's nice. Yeah, having a small child again, because I have 2 waves of children, but it really is like trying to show her old, like Milo and Otis. You know that movie?
Yeah, I
Milo?
love
Yeah.
Milo and Otis.
It's fantastic, but when you watch it now with a small kid and you're sort of just more attenuated and stuff, and the same thing, The Incredible Journey, about the Siamese cat, the
Yeah,
Labrador,
I love that
and,
one.
And there's another kind of dog.
I remember Two
It's
Dogs and a
little
Cat.
dog,
Yeah.
and you watch those two, and just knowing what you know about like the way they shoot movies, like Milo and Otis, they must have gone through like 50 yellow cats, because there's just like a scene where it's just like, holy shit, they just threw a cat in a running rapids of a river. Like, because there's just shots of like a cat fucking freaking out. And the same thing with The Incredible Journey. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like,
It's
oh,
Homeward
Jesus.
Bound, The Incredible Journey. It's an American bulldog or pit bull.
bulldog, right,
Golden
right.
retriever and a Himalayan cat.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
And
But
then
they
you have
just-
the,
they
the
just
little
threw-
Hobo and Benji.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
but Lassie's your classic, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But in Australia, and we've talked about this before, but have you ever heard of the show Skippy? Skippy is the Australian version of Lassie or whatever.
I see.
And it's about a kangaroo.
Ah.
And the kangaroo is not a smart animal. It's,
No.
It's a big rodent, basically. It's,
Yeah.
But it's adorable animal.
Right.
And it's got its own thing going on, jumping.
Right.
But-
Swiping your testicles off?
Yeah, exactly.
With
Yeah,
its
so
big foot?
selling its scrotums at the airport as a coin pouch. It does things, right?
Sure.
But then Skippy, the bush kangaroo, as it's called, he solved crimes and all that sort of stuff. But Skippy he started off as just like he'd come along and go, and they go, "What's this? Oh, there's criminals down near the well. Oh, they've got Mary."
And this is live action?
No, yeah, it was a live action show,
There
right?
you go.
Oh, wow.
But then eventually
Skippy.
Skippy just started playing the drums and answering phones.
So that's just
Yeah.
a kangaroo, but I think you'll see some dead kangaroo arms here.
Yeah, but this is the whole thing. They used to just go out in the bush and cut a kangaroo arm off, and they'd go, "Where is it?" They'd hold a map out, and then the paw would come up and go,
I gotta find.
Oh,
Yeah,
dear.
It was dialing a phone in one of them.
"Yeah." And
like,
there's one where it does a drum solo.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's like the, when I say racist, that's like the
There we go.
derogatory term that non-white Australians will call white Australians. We'll call them skippies.
There he
Skips.
is. Here he is playing the drums. I don't have it hooked up anyways.
That's all right. We can edit this bit down. But you got to see the full motion of Skippy.
Who's this band he's playing with?
Fucking, there'd be some Australian band that was
Easy
like
Beats.
the Easy Beats. Yeah, that's Australian. Yeah.
There you go. Here he comes. Right.
Wait. There's a guy playing a wash tub.
Yeah. I don't know if I told you. This is. Oh, go ahead. You're saying something?
Well, they brought back Skippy in the 90s. They said, we'll bring back Skippy, but we have to make it more realistic because this is silly. And no one wanted to watch it. We only wanted to watch the unrealistic.
Of course. Yeah,
kangaroo.
Was he solving gritty crimes?
Well, there was Skippy Park was because it was filmed in Sydney in the national park near where I lived, right? And so once a year they'd take you out to Skippy Park on a school excursion when you were like under 8, you know what I mean? And you'd all go up to Skippy Park. And koala parks are fun zoos because you can picnic and the kangaroos are jumping around you. You're immersed in the animals a lot more. And every year they would bring out... Now, Skippy was filmed in the 70s, right? They would have used 47 Skippies in an episode, right? Yeah. They go, all right, kids, this is the original Skippy. They bring it out. You come home like this. Met the original one, Mum. Did you? Oh, yeah, they had the original one right there.
Yeah. Okay, this is a part of our show called Dinner Party Facts. I don't know if I told you about this, Andy, but this is like we ask our expert to give us a fact, something obscure, interesting about the subject that they could use to impress people. Is there anything that pops in your head about dog breeds that would fall into that?
Well, I've said
a lot.
A few, like sort of like of my bullshit dog breed knowledge.
If you don't, it's my fault because I forgot to.
Let me think. No, but I mean, I've given all kinds of nonsense.
I like that.
Like Chihuahuas,
dumb.
Yeah, Dalmatians are dumb. Irish setters are pretty stupid too. And I'm amazed. The thing when I was a kid, and this isn't part of that fact, but this is I just mentioning Irish setters. I have these things it seemed like every third family had an Irish setter when I was a kid, and now I just don't ever see any Irish setters.
Yeah, I don't see them either.
The fashionability of dogs is so weird, like just with these living creatures, these engineered living creatures that are our best friends, and they come and go in fashion, and being fashionable.
The ones you see now, Shiba Inus, are big, but I heard those are not. Like, I think vets don't, or they're always
the Doge dog died last week.
What the? Oh, the actual
photo of the dog that became the Dogecoin.
But I heard Shiba Inus are tough dogs. Like
the Shiba Inu who was Doge is dead.
When online they'll interview vets. Which is the dog that you breed you least like? It's either a Husky or a Shiba Inu. They always
Shiba Inu. Yeah, Shiba Inu is in Japan they call them the bear cat, and apparently they have a very cat-like. Which means I don't give a fuck what you want from me kind of personality. They just kind of do what they want to do. And then they also are like, when left cooped up, I just remember there being a story about a Shiba Inu that within the span of like a morning, dug through the wall, both interior and exterior of a house.
Jesus,
just like broke through the drywall and then out through whatever the siding and whatever was there, and just ran away.
If a dog wants to get out, really wants to get out, it'll tunnel.
Yeah,
it'll tunnel.
But they look like that too. Their face looks like they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like that's yeah. All right, well, thanks for being here, Andy.
Sure, thanks for having me.
The podcast is The 3 Questions with Andy Richter on the Team Coco Network. His Instagram is @Richter, Andy, spelled out. And the new call-in show can be heard on Sirius XM. Is there a name to it, or is it just
the Andy Richter call-in show? We workshopped a lot of names. No, I called it that, and then we had a meeting of like, well, should we think of other names? I'm like, go ahead and think of them, but I'm gonna say no.
The Jim Jefferies show, we went through about 15 fucking names. Before we were just like, fair.
Right.
What's new with?
It's like you said, you can't be replaced then.
Tuesday's coming.
The news.
I had a show called Andy Richter Controls the Universe. Which was originally called Anything Can Happen, because the concept was that I'm telling the story and I would tell things not as they actually happened, and you might back up and then find out that I was lying or whatever, kind of Rashomon-y kind of stuff. And they wanted my name in the title. Fox was like, no, you got to have it, which I was like, oh, what if it sucks? And and so they hired somebody to come up with a million names, and I came up with Andy Richter Controls the Universe because I wanted it to seem grandiose, like no one could take it seriously. But it's a terrible name because no one ever gets it right. Yeah. Andy Richter controls the world. Andy Richter runs the
But things only
planets.
things sound genius when they. Okay, so whoever pitched Seinfeld, that like now, of course, it's synonymous.
Right.
That's a great name for a sitcom. But the first time Seinfeld, I haven't even met a person with the second name Seinfeld my whole life.
Yeah.
Well, the worst one is Everybody Loves Raymond. That's just awful. And I think that was at the time I was like in reaction to that. It was just like, oh God, can you imagine? I'm sure Ray Romano is soothed by his gazillion dollars.
Oh no, Andy doesn't like my name.
Everybody loves Raymond. I bet that had to be mortifying to him. It had to be.
Especially everyone hates Chris.
Yeah.
That
was in reaction to that.
That's a real reaction to that. Isn't it?
Remember, Ray Romano's next show was called Men of a Certain Age.
Yeah. I like Men of a Certain Age.
I never watched it, but it was
pretty good.
I'm of that certain age. It was targeted for me. I was like,
but it was very vague. Men of a certain, you get it, right?
Yeah. And it was him, Andre Bauer, who's now dead, and the guy from fucking Scott Bakula. Who's good?
Bakula fan back there.
Yeah, I love me.
Huge. Just met him. Great guy.
Scott Bakula never disappoints. If he's in something, it's going to be all right.
Yep.
He puts a bit of polish on something. I like Scott Bakula.
All right. Well, thanks for being here, Andy. Everybody, check out his new show on SiriusXM, the Andy Richter Call-In Show, and 3 Questions with Andy Richter on the Team Coco Network. And
thank you so much for coming, Andy.
Thank you.
That was a banger, man. It's always good when we have comics who actually know something. We've had a few on that are just like having a go, and I was told they like Andy doesn't know if he's that much of an expert. Man, you kicked every expert's ass. You know stuff. Don't worry about it. You're fine.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're ever at a party and someone comes up to you and they say, hey, the Dalmatian's a smart dog, go, well, I don't know about that, and walk away. Good night, Australia.